Hey guys, this is Ned. This is yet another video regarding Clash Royale. This one's a little bit different. It's actually more about the recent patch update, as you can see on the screen, than anything else. Patch updates are a big part of the game. Are all about balancing. They make or break the game, essentially. If you have one card that's overpowered and you're not using it, then you're missing out on free trophies. Whereas if you are using it, then you're just getting free trophies. I play a video game called League of Legends a lot on the PC, and they call it Freelo because they use ELO as their ranking system. And they do a lot of patch updates just because they got like 120 or so different champions that you can use. So, anyways, this isn't about or League of Legends, obviously. This is about Clash Royale. So, anyways, patch updates are a very important thing. So, these are my thoughts and what I think the ramifications are going to be regarding this patch update. We'll see how it actually pans out and if it's correct or not. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Let me know if you think my thoughts are correct or incorrect, and we'll have a discussion about it. Anyways, the first one is the mortar. They've increased the deployment time to 5 seconds and reduced the damage. The mortar is my least favorite card, only because it takes so little skill to place a mortar down and place some other towers around it to defend it, and then go to town. And it just does work for you. There's ways around it, but it's a really annoying card, and I really don't like it. It just takes no skill. If someone beats me with better cards, yeah, okay, I got it. You play more than me, or you got more money than me, whatever the case may be. Someone just beats me because I do something stupid, hey, I get it. I goofed up. Someone beats me because I messed up, hey, you know what, it happens. But when you just use that mortar and you just kind of go to town and everything I do ends up being just defending against the mortar, it's really annoying, and it gives me a great, great sick delight to defeat someone who uses the mortar. So I think that this will be fantastic. I think it might change it a little bit more to a long-range defensive structure with some offensive capabilities, but I think it's going to completely change the ramifications of that mortar, which makes me exceedingly happy just because the card is so retarded. Gives you more time to respond to it, which is fantastic, because with the mortar, if it's being used offensively, you have to take it out right away, because if you don't, then it's just going to be wrecking your face. One thing that, so many things, there's ways to respond to different cards, you see barbarians, maybe you want to wait to place a Valkyrie or, whatever the case may be. But when you see a mortar, you kind of have to play whatever you have to kill it virtually immediately, or it just does really stupid damage. I can also see it maybe being used to take out elixir pumps, but those are being nerfed as well. So, these might be a good counter to elixir pumps being placed in a more defensive manner as opposed to behind your side towers. I don't know. But anyways, it's going to be a lot less mortar functionality, which I like, because the card uses very little skill. So it will increase the skill cap for the card, which makes me happy. The next thing is bomb tower. I don't use a whole lot of towers or a whole lot of cards that are susceptible to the bomb tower anymore. But for lower levels, especially those who use, say, Goblin Hut and Barbarian Hut, this is going to be excellent for those kind of hut users, because it did so much AoE damage and was alive for so long that you could have it up virtually all the time. By the time you cycle through your cards, you could have another one up, or you could even have 2 up. So I think that this will be a very, very good card for those people, or a very good change for those people. So while the bomb tower was a good counter to those cards, so I think you might see a lot more spawner decks being used, because honestly, that's pretty much the single biggest defense against those kind of decks, just because, with one bomb it kills all the spear goblins. So I think that this could be a good change. Towers have quite a lot of life left, or quite a lot of change to the game when you see one played, and if you have 2 towers, you can have towers up almost all the time. So, reducing the time, you're not reducing the hit points, you're just reducing the time that it's there. So, I think that that can definitely be good. It's really annoying when you have to, you know, wait to play cards because they've got a tower up. There's always counterplay to them, Baby Dragon or Minion Horde or Minions or anything along those lines. But this will just reduce the way that it's played. And I think that ultimately this will be a good thing. It could be good, could be bad, just because of how it affects other cards and other decks. But I think ultimately it's going to be pretty good. The next one is the Elixir Collector. Hit points are decreased by 20%. That is absolutely fantastic. So often, and I use it myself, you use that card in a defensive manner. Someone comes at you with a Hog Rider or a Golem or a Giant or a Balloon, and you're like, oh shit, and you just drop that thing. Get some defensive use out of it. So I think this is going to be great because you can still place it behind your towers, but it doesn't have as much hit points to be used in a defensive manner. The card is not meant to be used in a defensive manner. It's meant to be used to generate elixir. So I think that this is great just for what the card is meant to be doing. I am only hoping that it will generate the same amount of elixir, and it's only going to affect when it's being struck. I don't know all the mechanics and physics engineering behind that they use for the physics drivers, but hopefully it could be good. I really like this change. I mean, I don't like it for my decks because I use it. I don't think that this will change how the card is used. I think that it might minimize its use a little bit, but I think it's still going to be a very, very good card and a great choice. The cannon, the hit points are decreased by 11%. Again, towers are pretty overpowered right now. I find so often that someone who's got, say, like a Hog Rider and then like 3 towers in their deck can do really well against me, and it's really annoying when they just have tower after tower after tower. So I think that nerfing, towers like this is going to be a good thing for the game, and I really think that that's a good thing. Royal Giant. Now, this to me is probably the second biggest change of what they're doing. It's increased the range, which is absolutely fantastic. The Royal Giant is very, very, very rarely used. I think I see it in maybe 1 in 75 decks that are played against me. The Royal Giant is honestly one of my favorite cards. I think it's an awesome card. I think it can be extremely strong, yet it's very difficult to defend it because of the hit points, which is fair because it's a very low elixir cost, and it offers quite a bit of damage to the tower, but you have to defend it. So I think that this will make it slightly easier to defend, while at the same time keeping it to where there's good counterplay against it, to where when you see it, it's not like, oh dear God, I have to do this, do that. I think it's going to balance it out a little bit more. I'm going to try it once this update comes out and is live, but I'm really excited for it. I love this Royal Giant. It's absolutely wonderful, and we'll see what it actually, well it affects the Royal Giant. The next update that I really like is the mirror. Common and rare cards give you 1 level higher on the mirror, which is marvelous, because especially for those who are lower level but have a decent level mirror, say a level 3 mirror, it gives you a really good mirror. It gives you great value for it. Gives you slightly higher updates, so I think it'll be easier for those who are struggling to get a good value out of the mirror. It's hard right now because the cards are not a high enough level for you, but I think that this will really kind of help change it and make the mirror used more often. I think it's a great card, a great idea, but it's very rarely used. I've only used it consistently in 1 deck of my own, and it worked out very well. It's just kind of hard to use when it costs the amount of elixir that it does. It's a heck of a lot of fun and friendly battles, but we want all these cards to be useful and viable in competitive play as well. So I think that this will make the mirror significantly more competitive. It doesn't change the epics, but it does change the common and rare. So I think that this could be wonderful, wonderful. And then the very last change is just the Valkyrie Mini P.E.K.K.A. will be affected by pushback skills when they're hit by like the fireball. And that is just a quality of life. It is what it is. I don't really see that doing too much of a change. It gives you a brief half-second stun or so, and then they gotta traverse another tile. But so I think that this is, it's just like I said, quality of life. It just makes the game more rounded and kind of more fair for everybody, if you will. So, anyways, those are my thoughts about this whole update that's coming in 2 days. I'm going to be playing around with especially that Royal Giant when it does become implemented, and I'm super excited to see what it does for the Royal Giant. And I'm also going to play around with that mirror a little bit more. Um, and I'm thrilled that that mortar has been nerfed. That is the most annoying card. P.E.K.K.A, Golem, some of the most annoying cards out there. Just kind of like, Lightning, Rocket, all those cards are real annoying, but there's a good bit of counterplay that you can do with them. The mortar just so stupid. I hate that card. So this will be a fantastic balance change, I believe. And we'll see how this works out. And maybe I'll do a post-update video as well. And kind of on what I've seen and what I've noticed and how well the update has accomplished their goals. Anyways, let me know what you think. Comment down in the comment section down below. Like the video. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.